All right, as far as esters, interesting esters, a lot of the smells in our fruits, in our vegetables, and plants come from esters. Flavors, especially in our fruits, is an ester, right? And like the mango smell is actually a very simple ester. Okay, you can see. Let me grab the pen real quick. Um, you can see that if you have four carbons, so a butane and then an ethyl group, very simple compound, is the actual smell in a mango, one of the compounds in mango. Okay, see how it's called ethyl butanoate because you have an ethyl group hanging off of the oxygen, which is there, and you have four carbons, which is a butane, and then you end it in O8. Okay, apricots, this is kind of the smell in apricots. Um, you have a pentyl group and then a butanoate. And methyl salicylate is the oil of wintergreen. Actually, something very interesting. Look at this compound. Okay, so it's an aromatic ring with an OH and an ester group. And now look at aspirin. It is an ester with a carboxylic acid. Okay, so ester, all right, carboxylic acid, all right, and this is an OH with an ester. So it's not much of a difference between the molecules. Um, and I've heard that if you eat compounds that have wintergreen in it, it has the same effects as aspirin does. And that's because the structure is very close to the structure of aspirin. Um, so if you eat like certs or something like that, it actually has an anti-inflammatory and an analgesic effect on the body. Just FYI, because the structure of it is very similar. Okay. Another interesting ester, I'm sorry, amide. These are not amides, is melatonin. So this is the structure of melatonin. It comes from the amino acid tryptophan. If any of you have learned about your amino acids yet, but we will learn about amino acids, and this is kind of the tryptophan group to it. This is called an indole ring. Indole, I-N-D-O-L-E. It's found in a lot of um, compounds that interact inside of our brains. All right, serotonin and dopamine, things like that have a similar type of structure. And they have an effect on our brains. So this also has an indole ring, and this is what melatonin is, and this obviously has a huge effect on our brain. And in fact, it causes us to be drowsy and sleepy. And our body just kind of knows when to start making this. When it gets dark outside, when it gets cold outside, um, there are certain triggers in our body. Um, there's even like the sound of rain actually triggers the production of melatonin. I mean, how many of you on a rainy day just want to stay indoors and nap all day and just kind of stay under the covers, or on a snowy day? Um, there's something about it like being all dark outside. It increases our production of melatonin. Um, so something interesting. All of the canes, this is like benzocaine, um, is an anesthetic, a topical anesthetic that our dentists use, or you can even get it over the counter if you have um, like pain on in your teeth or in your mouth. So here's a structure of a benzocaine. You can see that it's an ester and has an amine group. And acetaminophen or Tylenol has an amide group. You can see the amide right there. So these are just kind of real life examples of these functional groups. Okay, and we will stop it right there.